At that point, what you can do is take your marker, go back around again on top of the mesh, all the way around. That way, if you lose your spot, you can see the red on that silver. So when you take off your speaker, I don't know if you can see it in the camera or not, but I can still see the red circle all the way around. Started making these things, started using tin snips. They do work fairly well. It will cut it all the way around. That's what I made my first one with. And then realized after that I had something that actually works a little bit better. These scissors, and I don't know where I even got these scissors from, but these are the scissors that will actually cut a can. They cut aluminum really well. They cut this wire awesome. They're real flexible to use. They're lightweight. They don't hurt your hand to use or anything like that. So if you can get some of these scissors, I would definitely recommend it. But they'll cut right through this stuff. And again, this wire is really difficult to work with because of all the stickies and stuff that's grabbing hold of my sleeve and everything. But you can go right through here, and you're probably wondering why I even said to make this circle here, right? Well, the reason I said that is most of the time I'll set this circle right back where this was at. And I am finding new ways as I go along, and since I said these scissors work so much better, it's not a big deal that I do it this way. But the tin snips, I did it this way and it worked a lot better. But putting the circle on it like that, you can actually hold it down in the center and go through here and cut a lot easier because you already know where you're going and you're on line. And all you got to do is follow that line that's on your board, and you've automatically got your circle. But like I said, with these scissors, it's so much easier to cut. You can actually lift it up and cut just as easily. And I mean, it's not like cutting paper or anything, but these scissors are much easier to cut with than those tin snips, because those tin snips are so big and bulky and heavy and all of that. So I can't reiterate enough how difficult this is with all the little stickies and stuff. The circle doesn't have to be perfect, but the closer you can get it, the better. And the last little piece. Cut them again. Get that out of the way. Oh, got me again. Okay, get that out of the way so it's not grabbing hold to me. So basically that's what you got right there, is your perfect little 12-inch circle. Bend it up a little bit to get it to stop bending the other direction. But got your 12-inch circles. Both of them are the same size. Sticking to each other like they're meant to be together. So that's basically what you got there. You got your circles. I always push them down to try to get them as flat as possible. So the trick is, at this point, you want to cut a slit right down the center of it, so that way whenever you go to make a cone, you can overlap the pieces and it starts to make it into a cone. That I know of, this is the only way you can do it. I'm sure there's probably other ways. This is the only way I know how to do it. So basically what you want to do here is, since your circle is 12 inches across, you want to roughly find the middle, which I'm guessing the middle is right around in here. I'll put it over my circle so I can get a better definition here. So yeah, center's going to be about right here. So I'll put my finger on that square. So right there. And you want to measure straight down on that center square. You got 12 inches exactly, which is the length of the whole thing. And then you want to mark where your 6-inch spot is, because that's going to be the center. Okay, at that point, what you can do is you can draw straight down with your red Sharpie. That way you don't get lost along the way. You know exactly where it is that you need to cut. So you don't want to go past this last one because that's the center mark. That's basically what you do at that point. Is you just cut right down the middle to that spot. So at that point, you're thinking all I've got is a square with a cut in it. It looks like Pac-Man. Robber. But really what you got is you can take that now and you can bend it over. So now you start to get your cone. And you can make the cone as small or big as you want, depending on how far you go in with it. So you got your perfect cone there. At this point, we're going to take your cylinder and you want to figure out exactly how big you want that to be to go down inside of there. See, that's not going to be small enough because I've still got overhang in here. And there's no way I can get that to fit down in there with the size of the cylinder. So at that point, you just take it out and you want to reposition it. You can mark it with your finger or whatever so you know you need to go over that spot. So you pull it apart, pull it in a little bit further. What I like to do is actually go in too far. That way you can put it down in there, get it close, and then let up on it a little bit. This part is tricky with all the stickies going on. So it's going to be roughly right there. You just kind of eyeball it. You don't want to get a big gap in it or anything. If you get a big gap in it, it is going to cause problems. It's going to give you this problem right here. This is what happens if you make the circle too small for the cylinder. You're going to have this bunched up piece right here because this didn't reach this, and it's going to look kind of crappy actually. But that's the problem that you're going to have if you make this too small. This cone is too small. This cone is just right. Everything's perfectly round, everything's centered, just like it's supposed to be. So, kind of important, depending on how you want it to look. If you don't care what it looks like, it doesn't matter. You can make it as small as big as you want. You can have it all popping out, whatever you want. But as long as it's sealed up, nice and smooth all the way around, you won't have any problems with fish getting out or anything like that. This one looks like it's going to be just about right. So I'm holding it, making sure not to let go so I don't lose the bend. I want to push down on the inside, make sure that I get everything nice and flat up against there. Okay, still got that point. Still take my wire. Doesn't matter where you put it because you're going to take it back out later anyway. Put your wire in there. Push it down, bend it over. Cut it off. Make sure it's nice and snug. Then it's solid. Anything you do to it, it's not going to come apart. It's good to go. It's got a nice little hat. Go to the party. Okay, so that's pretty much what you got at this point. You can see this end is popping up. That's okay because we're going to be sewing that down. I don't sew the centerpiece, the part that is on the inside. I don't sew that down. You can if you want to. There is no point in it. Whenever you have this one sewed down to this piece, it's not moving, it's not going anywhere, nothing's going to change at that point.